of wanting to get this done by May 15th for in-service. We've had to consolidate the last couple weeks. So we're going to do that for here. For the peer showcase, that will just be on the second submission for this module. So we'll have this one, which I will change later into a video. Since you all are here, then you of course don't need to go back and watch those videos. But the last like showcasing your portfolio, that will be in this assignment. Well, discussion board assignment. So we'll talk about that a little bit later, but while you all are coming in here, I'm just going to do a quick little intro. So we've had 12, it's actually not 12 sessions. It's been 12 modules, and a lot of the modules were split up into multiple sessions. I did the math, and if we were to continue with how it was originally planned, it was 48 hours, but since we had to consolidate, it's now 42. So hope that doesn't ruin you all's PD number count. If it does, then I can supply you all with some extra hours, opportunities, like if you were able to attend the ATL and WAC. Yeah, go ahead, Kelly.
Um, when is the last day we can submit work? Because I have a bunch of stuff I haven't turned in yet that I was
So,
altering, but now I'm
mhm.
thinking I should probably leave it the way I wrote it to begin with because I'm changing some assignments, which is was gonna affect, my work, what I
Mhm.
submitted. But I haven't gotten as far as I wanted, so I think I need to go back and do the like stick to what I was sticking with initially. I just
Just submitting the raw. Um,
right. What I have changed, I'll submit or utilize like I did.
okay.
But I was hoping to have more that changed by the end of the this class, thinking I had
Yeah.
until the end of the quarter, and I didn't.
Well,
So
well, I
that's
will I
my
will say
fault.
this. You depends on what you're trying to do. So if you're trying to get the 96 hours for the increment,
Yeah,
that is that's technically due by May 15th. There's a small amount of grace since I'm assuming you um did a prior approval form for this
I
course.
did. Yep.
So there's a little bit of grace there if you need to like finish up some stuff. But HR needs to know who got 96 um, close to the May 15th because they have to do all the behind the scenes and change
Oh yeah. And if
the
and
thing.
if you're, what if you're not like gonna
So
hit
if
the
you're not going for
96?
the 96, if you're just going for the 20,
Mm-hmm.
then you have until the end of June for those.
Gotcha. Okay.
So there's a little bit more room there because that one is not HR budget related. That one's just um, something that was in the faculty bargaining agreement. So
One more question. I
yeah.
noticed that under badges, was it badges? Is that what it's called?
Oh,
Um,
parchment badges.
yeah. So under there, I have X amount of hours listed, but under grades, if I total those up, I have a different, they don't match. Do they add
So
together? How do those work?
yeah, so what the way that the badge works is you need to do both of the things. So you've done all of the single, like
Right.
you've been to most of the live sessions, but the ones that you haven't submitted yet, once you
Hmm.
submit those, it'll trigger the badge.
So I get that, but like when I look at the grades, let's just say when I
Mhm.
look at grades and I scroll down to see what I got, it says like 27. All right.
Okay.
But when I go to the parchment badge, it says I have 14. 7 times 2 gives me 4. They're 2 hours each, right? So
Oh, okay.
I'm like, does the 14, is that part of the 27 or does that go on top of the? I'm not really sure how those play together if they don't match.
So it's okay.
Does that make
The
sense?
yes, it does. The grades is the final end all be all. Whatever that number is, that's the total. The way that the badges are set up, and I'll have to admit, I set it up. I wish I would have set it up in a different way, but the way that I was setting these up was, so I'll just show you real quick. In order to get the badge, you need to, so like this is just an example for session 1.2. You would need to score 1 out of 1 on the intro. So that's the coming to the live session or watching the video afterwards. View each of these, and then 1 out of 1 on the network. And so all of these have to be done in order for the badge to trigger and award. So
When you,
if
s-
you
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. If you came to the intro, you would get the hour, like the point, the 1 point in the grade book, it would show up. But since you didn't submit the network, then you wouldn't get the badge. So you would have an hour there, but you wouldn't have the badge. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. And that's, I'm submitting all of those, the, the, the network
The
portions.
networks?
I
Yeah.
have most of them done.
Okay.
Like I said, I went in one direction and then went in a different direction, and now I'm going back to the primary direction, and I'm just gonna stick with it and submit it all. So you're
It's
gonna
all good.
see,
I'm all about that. Bobbing and
the
weaving.
you said to view those, right? Like you said the middle ones, listen, explore, apply, reflect. You said to
Yeah.
view. We view those while we're in here with you. Do we get credit for that? If we,
Well,
you know what I mean?
if I'm the one control, like I'm sharing the screen, you would still need to do it on your instance of Canvas. So
Oh,
you might want to just hop into this one and then just do a
yeah.
end next. Because I mean,
I get it.
technically, if you were going through and like doing the apply, then
You've
you would
already
have
gone
to
through
go
it.
to the apply to get
I
that.
have a feeling it's not showing. I don't know, and that's what I'll talk to you later about it. But because
Okay.
of my network situation, I
Yeah.
don't know if they're showing up. That's what I'm trying
Okay.
to say.
Okay.
Because I'm obviously doing them if I'm doing the reflection or the
Okay.
network portion. All right, cool. Thank you. I think Dean had a question.
Yeah, Dean, I think put it in the chat, said you haven't been getting badges after module 7.
Yes, yeah, just stop showing up.
So what I'll do is this is the last you know last session. Um next week is getting ready for in-service, but after in-service, I'll go in and do like a forensic and maybe, for the people who are here and I don't know, maybe if I can fit it in next week, uh and I don't have like in-service stuff to get ready for, then I'll go in and do it. But I'll go in and
Honestly,
check and see.
honestly, I really don't care about badges as long as you get credit for the hours. That's all I care about. So badges are badges are
Well,
just
you know
little
what?
things.
Let's look here. It might be that there's no badges there. So I'm looking and let me go to manage the badges real quick. They might have, oh, you know what? It might have been when I switched over. It might have messed up the badges.
Hmm.
So I'll go in and double check. I'll make sure everybody gets their badges. But yeah, if you need proof to show your dean when you resubmit your approval form, um, your post approval form, which is just the backside of the, ooh, sorry. Y'all shouldn't be seeing grades. Um, you can go to the grades, and the grades will have your hours. So
Ronald, I have a
We
screenshot how
question.
many hours you have. Yeah.
thank you.
I'm in a little bit of a different situation. This is my first year teaching, and so I'm trying to get these hours in as part of that like initial certification.
Hmm.
Um, so if I don't end up submitting everything and I can kind of get partial hours other than the full 40, just because I was a little behind last quarter due to conflicts on Fridays.
Yeah, what you can do, Rachel, is if you go to our LibGuide page, I'll put it in the chat, but on the professional development tab, there is, if you scroll down, a crosswalk. Now, once again, this got to be updated because it's not 48, it's only 42. So
Mhm.
let's see, if I come down here, it should be most likely like similar, but especially for you going through the initial certification, you need to classify the skill standard. And so what you can do is you look here and then say, okay, if I've done, if I came to this session, these are all 2 hours, right?
Mhm.
So 2 hours here, 2 hours here, 2 hours. These are each of the sessions. And so if you've done the 2 hours for the first week, then that's 2 hours for A, 4 hours if you include the second week, 6 hours if you include the third week, and so on.
And so then I'll have till you said June, the beginning of June or the end of June to get as much done as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. I don't want to like be submitting stuff like after the class is over and when you're trying to like wrap this up and just wanted to know like what my plan.
No, it's okay. These are open forever. So there's still people submitting and going through courses that were created 2 years ago. So
Oh, really? Okay, so I have a longer tail.
yeah,
Okay.
don't worry about that. As long as I see the notification there on the side in my canvas, I'll go in and check. And
Okay. All right. Thanks, Ronald. Sorry to sidetrack us.
no, no, no. This is the track because we're all on this train together. So okay. Moving on. Nice cats here. Welcome. Long time no see in the session. This last session here is not about content. We're not gonna like really talk about a lot of new things. I'll show you all a way that you can use NotebookLM to like take a bunch of different information and put it together into like a nice package. Um, So yeah, here we'll use NotebookLM to upload everything that you've created in this course, and then we'll let AI help you find the patterns and insights from that learning that you've done in here. So, Ah. So and then we're going to use that to shape capstone portfolio piece that tells your professional story as an AI integrated educator. So our goal to turn the course artifacts into coherent, compelling narrative of professional growth and package it as a portfolio piece that you're proud to share. We're going to do a little bit of reflection. To start, we're going to do it, I'll just ask you guys a couple questions just about the course and your experience. Then I'm going to show you how you can use NotebookLM to generate insights, a learning narrative, and a portfolio-ready artifact. And then you're going to choose the way that you want to publish it. So if you want to go with what you create in Notebook, or if you want to create your own slide deck or video, um, this is a universal design for learning, whatever fits your voice. We're going to use, like I said, NotebookLM today. You don't have to do that, but I'm just going to use it for this demo. And then what you would need is your saved artifacts from 1 to 11. So if you have them handy, if you've been filling out the reflection journal, or if you've had, like, I don't know, if you have like a repository or folder on your computer where you have your work that you've been saving, it would be beneficial to have access to that for this example. But if you don't have that, I mean, you could just go into each of the network pages. I think probably the easiest way. Actually, for this one, I'm going to turn on assignments. I usually don't like to keep it on, but specifically for this one, because if you do want to reference, like if you only have your submissions in this, then you might need to do some copy and pasting, but hopefully you've got this stuff somewhere else. So like, for example, Julie Watts, she would need to go in and copy this unless she has it already somewhere else. Okay, let's get back to this one. All right, we're gonna skip the this week in AI. I'm sure crazy things are happening. I wonder how much of the recent Canvas attack was related to somebody using AI, or I don't know. I think it has to do with the HTML editor, because as you can see, this looks a little bit different. I was gonna go in and try to make this look nicer, but there's no HTML editor anymore. I think they turned it off. Did anybody notice that? Yeah,
I did.
yeah.
Yeah, because
So,
they definitely used AI to exploit it.
mhm, mhm.
Absolutely.
Get the hands on that new what's that new one from Anthropic? The one that can the one that escaped Mythos, I think it was called Mythos
It
or something.
is. It is. I was gonna say if I tell you I'll have to kill you, but I'm
Oh
kidding.
my God.
It's Mythos.
I watched that video you sent me too of those
That was crazy, right?
using the shall we switch over to an encrypted channel? Oh,
Gibberlink. Yep. They actually
is
have a
that a
name
real
for it.
thing? I had to search Gibberlink and I was like, I guess it's a real thing. So
It is. Yeah, it is. For AI
okay.
to encrypt and it's their own language.
Creepy.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's what I saw the glass wing as well. Okay, so let's do some feedback here. I want to hear from everybody that's here that's able to talk, that's kind of gone through this course. I want to know what your biggest AI win from this course. So maybe it was a tool, maybe it was just a moment, or maybe you just learned something random. What was your biggest win regarding AI?
I think for me, the biggest win was just understanding AI better and not fighting against it and being able to change my class assignments to incorporate AI for the students. And that way I'm not, fighting against them, trying to catch them doing things wrong, but letting them use AI to do their assignments and just kind of working together with it. Made the biggest difference.
Nice. Yeah, collaborating with it, using it as a partner, I think is what a lot of people are saying, or like a co-intelligence.
Mm.
That's good.
I
I see Kelly's got the hand.
Yeah, what really helped me was seeing identifying my course outcomes and realizing that some were good, but some were not written very well.
Mm.
And then on top of it, identifying the assignments that should be meeting those, and maybe they were missing the mark. So
Oh,
then using AI to rewrite the assignment to make sure that it hit that outcome, or I would rewrite the outcome.
nice. I like all the outcome talk. Kelly, before I forget, I need to talk with you after
Yeah.
this
Okay.
session.
Okay.
Just you. So
Okay. Cool.
don't let me forget. Derek, what about you?
I think I definitely similar to Dean, like, try working towards, you know, incorporating AI so to teach students responsible uses of
Mm.
AI. But I think there's a lot of AI tools out there that I wasn't aware of. Like I came into this and I had heard obviously ChatGPT and I had heard of Claude and I knew that Google had numerous products,
Mm.
but I didn't know about NotebookLM. So just like and what was the other one that I just oh it was just a I had just watched a video earlier today. I can't remember. Hold on. I'll pull it up on my notes because I've been taking
So not
notes.
not Copilot.
No, not Copilot. Yeah, I was aware of that. Perplexity. The perplex.
Oh, Perplexity.
Yeah.
I've got that one up here.
So yeah. Yeah, just like all these tools. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I didn't go too tool heavy in this course. I could have gotten a new tool a week, but I think I focused on kind of the ones that were maybe the most popular or the most known about. The NotebookLM one is kind of weird because it's so awesome. I mean, I like it. I use it every day. But like we were giving a talk to some nursing deans a couple weeks ago, and I was like, how many people have heard of NotebookLM? And I was expecting like at least half, but there were maybe like three people in the room that knew about it. And so I was like, how is this still nobody knows about it? Do you post the infographic? The infographics are so nice. I mean, like they might need a little, prompting to look less generic or like that's AI, but just the fact that you can like take information and have it create an image that's like coherent is it's exciting. I would say as an instructor. So Derek, what do you think? What else?
Yeah. Just a question on the infographics from Notebook. Like, can I assume you can prompt it because sometimes they're a little busy. So I assume you can
Mhm.
like prompt it and be like, make this look less busy, right? Like, yeah, I think
Yeah,
you
I
probably
think
have like
so.
a bazillion examples that you can pull up and
Well, I want to point out this thing because I don't know if I did say it last time, but there is so you have infographic, and if you just click that, it'll make the infographic. But if you click the arrow here, you can uh you can choose concise as the
oh, okay.
level of
See, this is
detail.
why I need to go in and play around, you know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
And you can also change it to portrait, square, and then the style. But then also there's down here it's almost like prompting just this specific tool. So if you can have a certain style, color, like you could say use Clover Park branding and then maybe give it, what the colors are. Um, so there's some different options that you can mess around with and that's on all of these. So like if I go to slide deck, I can do a detailed deck. I always create both of these because show you like for example this one. See, this is what I'm going to post on tomorrow. Um, from our OER Institute, and my internet's slow today, so bear with me. Let me see. The only problem is that I don't like whenever I send a job, I don't know which one is which. So like if I look at that one versus this one looks like it has less text. So this is the presenter one, right? And so let's look here. If I look at this page, I've got like, a big text here and like three call out boxes. But if I looked at the other one, I've got I've got the text here and then I don't know, it just seems like there's a lot more text in these slides. Sometimes I go with the standard one, sometimes I go with the other one. And like look at this. Just since I was talking, the infographics already done. And if I look through this, okay, decade of development, Washington, impact of local, like it makes sense if I go through and look at everything. So cool. Okay. Um, okay. And then I saw in the chat creating AI policies for my classes. That's great. What about something that you're still figuring out? AI is changing every day. What's the thing that's still a little sticky for you?
Hey, Ronald.
Yeah,
Um, I was gonna raise my hand, but I couldn't click the button.
you're
Um,
good.
what I'm struggling with is like when I'm using it to help write an assignment, sometimes it gives the students too much. It gives them too
Mm,
much guidance. And truthfully, we have a lot of like ex-military in our program, and they're used to having a step by step, check the box, do it, check the box.
mm,
But in IT, you can't do that. You have to be able to think critically. Um,
mm,
so what I find is that's my struggle sometimes is it's not um it's not allowing the student to do that. So I'm having to go in and rewrite some of it or remove, instead of saying do this, do this, do this, do this, say now research the procedure to do X, Y, and Z to get this outcome. And so when they do the assignment, they're still having to research it and figure some of it out on their own.
yeah.
But
That's good. Do you ever when you get it and it's like step one, open the browser. Step two, do you ever say like uh don't steal the struggle or like make this a little bit more
right,
challenging?
I ask it to apply critical thinking,
Mm,
and sometimes I'll say, remove some steps and ask students to research this. Or,
mm,
what I've been doing lately is like early in the quarter, I teach them how to like create a user, create a group, do basic things, right? I'll refer them back to that lecture or that week and say,
mm,
check your notes
mm.
for week 3. And then it'll, as long as I state it in the prompt, it'll add it to there. And then the students will come back and go, oh, well, I didn't think about going back to week 3. Well, yeah, it's what we learned that week. So they
Yeah,
can go back to their notes and learn, do that process and then continue on with the steps. But
that's great. Anytime you can
critical
do a
thinking.
callback. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yep.
Oh man. You're gonna love next Friday. It's all critical thinking at the
Oh boy.
in-service.
Yeah. I have a feeling.
It's gonna be fun. I think
Cool.
for some people it's gonna be a surprise, but I think
Right
it's gonna be
on.
fun. Okay, let's see what else we got in the chat. Teaching students how to see AI more than just the LLMs, specifically with agentic AI. Yes, we're really on just the edge of what's going on with the agent stuff. So I'm curious to see how that plays out over the next year or two. I feel like we're in the like oh, it was a year or two ago that GPTs were really starting to like, well, they weren't taking off. They were like just being discovered and experimented with. But yeah, I feel like that's what's happening with the agents right now. And then how to write better detailed prompts. Yeah, it's good. It's all about getting clear about what you want from the AI. That's my that's my experience. And sometimes when I don't know, like I'll, prompt the AI to say, this is an idea of what I want, but I'm not really sure what to ask. Can you help me figure out, what I'm trying to get towards and how to ask you to do that. So
I find
I use,
myself
yep.
having to do that also, and I find myself doing it in small pieces. So I'll say, add this, and then it'll do it, and I'll read it, and then I'll go, can you reflect this? And then, instead of writing one prompt, I'm writing 10 of them as I'm,
Mm.
rereading it and going through and picking it. Uh,
That's kind of what I end up doing. It just asks, over different questions over and over again. So it's like, I just need to learn how to do it all once.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, there's some, I mean it is really, I would say, the art of prompting. It's more of an art than engineering, I would say, because there's too much, then it's like doesn't know what, then it's going to try to do all the things and it's just going to do them all like mediocrely. But then if you do kind of iterative, like where you guys are, you'll put one in, get it back, and move down the list. At some point in the conversation, it's going to lose the plot. So, like, and I was reading, I was like going through an Anthropic series or course or something, and maybe I was just reading their prompt guides, but let me see if I can find it actually. Um, prompting. It's kind of changed my way of uh, prompting because the more you, hold on here. So first of all, I'll leave you all with this since we won't be meeting anymore. If you haven't been to Anthropic's Academy here, they've got some courses here, but which courses? Go to the Claude 101, I think. Introduction to projects, creating with artifacts, getting better results. Oh, you have to register. I'm not signed in. So, but the point that I was trying to make was every time you do another prompt, it has to go through and, like it kind of goes through everything again. And so you add another prompt, it kind of goes through everything again. And so the more you add to one conversation, it's every time it's going through that conversation and it's using up tokens to do that. And so um, I've been trying to be more conservative because right now it seems like, you have your membership, especially with ChatGPT, it doesn't seem like there's any limit. Like you could just prompt for days, but like with Anthropic, it seems like there's kind of a limit. And so, well, I mean, Anthropic, I can go in and I can show you. I can look at my settings and I can see how much I have left for the week before it resets again. And so I'm always conscious about this line. So, um, I think in the future, it's like we're right now, they're just like, hey, get hooked on this, use this a lot, use it as much as you want. But then in the future, I think it's going to cost like more for, like every prompt you use. That's just a prediction I have for the future. But like I already kind of see it happening here where it's like you're getting, you only have so much usage. And once you're out, then I don't know what happens. Like on this, I know if I finish all my usage in a current session, then it'll say you can't use it for uh like a couple hours. So that's something I'm still figuring out. Is like the most effective way to put, have the conversation. Okay, let's do one thing I will do differently in my next course because of this PD. So kind of the practical applied AI that you'll use. And I know that a lot of you have been using it already. So, if you have an example of something that you've already changed, I'm sure everyone would love to hear that.
I think something I do is instead of just like allowing AI generically on a given assignment, I would give very specific prompts and guidance and maybe an example of a bad prompt. Kind of to Kelly's point, like I think that the biggest thing that AI needs is boundaries, and students may not have the skill set to know those boundaries, so they should see maybe the difference between what a good and a bad prompt does for their learning.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome.
I am
Anybody else?
I'm rewriting, as I said before. I have to rewrite 6 assignments that I was using a publisher online curriculum, and decided not to publish this anymore. So I said, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to rewrite these, do it myself." And I've been using AI, and then having my current students that want extra credit, they've been going through it and testing it for me, and then giving
Nice.
me feedback, and then I go back into AI and go fix this, and fix this. So,
Yeah.
you know, I admit it.
No, that's great because they're getting more experience with it. I envision the like I think an ideal class is where you give them some concepts and then say y'all create the the information that you need to know. Like you put the study guides together related to this topic, and then they ever have all your students submit that, and then you just like look and say, oh yeah, that's right, that's right. But this is really like discovery learning, you know, have them go out and find it and create it, and then that's kind of like you're creating the class with your students. But it doesn't work in every discipline, but
Well,
yeah, Derek. Oh, go ahead,
yeah,
Kelly.
no, it's just I share with them the outcomes so they know what the goal is. And then
Hmm.
they'll come back and give me feedback on, whether they felt they got there and was it challenging, so
Oh,
I give them a
nice.
little questionnaire to fill out. And then,
Cool.
yep, it's fun.
Yeah, I was just reading something that was like this kind of same thing. Like you could feed your course outcomes to a NotebookLM and then just have NotebookLM gather all the, relevant information and then start putting together, you know, slides and flashcards and all that stuff based off the things that you find that NotebookLM finds based on the outcomes. So I'm going to be looking more into that as maybe a possibility for what we're going to be doing in our communities of practice next year for our professional development. But Derek, I see your hand.
Yeah, just really quickly, like for I'm teaching one of my chemistry courses this term quarter, and like I tell students they can use AI to help them with homework, but they still have to know how to do it come exam time, right? Because they won't have,
That's right.
right? And one thing that has come up is like well, can I have more practice problems? Where can I find that? And I've started saying, well, I have some resources on that, and you can also see examples in your textbook, but you can also give an example problem to AI and ask it to generate similar examples.
Mm,
So some students have been doing that. Also, I want to I'll share it in the chat because I was just like curious what Notebook LM could do. I was like, give me an infographic on sea stars and stuff like that. And I prompted it with some stuff, told it waves and ocean theme and sea star wasting disease, that type of thing. So I'll share the link to that in the chat because
yeah.
it's pretty awesome that it did in like 5 minutes.
No, yeah, it did a good job.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll
That's
share
awesome.
that link in the chat. If
Yeah, I'll click on it if you put a link in there. Um, that's cool. That's good AI literacy is, oh, okay. I have a problem and I want more of this problem. Well, that's what AI is really good at is, taking something and then making ultimate, unlimited variations. Um, I need your access for that. So I just sent that to you. Make sure when you're sharing, let's see here, you need to make sure that, oop, oop, oop. Go to public where it says your notebook access or anybody with a link. Otherwise, you'll
yeah,
get a
I
bunch of.
I did say anyone with a link. I just made it public, so
Oh, okay, I got it. So the Brazilian, what's this? How do I say that? Okri?
Yeah, Ochre, Sea Star.
Otter. Oh, look at the baby otter over here. I love otters so much. Wow, this looks great. And
Yeah,
it's got the multiple colors.
yeah. No, it's pretty impressive. Like, and then at least, even if you don't use that design straight up, the reason I thought of this is because I volunteer with the nature center and, we're trying to design some, you know, informational signs. So like this could at least serve as a starting point.
Yeah, for
So anyway,
sure. That's awesome. And I don't know, th trying to figure out a way that your students could have access to this notebook and say create an infographic. I wonder if Studio is. I've always been curious because this is not my studio. Um, let's see about Chef Shelley the starfish. Let's see what this comes up with. Because think about how fun that would be for your students, right? Because you got your graphic that you made, but if they made their own graphic and then like everybody submits them, votes on it. Let's see, I can't. Oh, okay. Shelly. It can't find Starfish Shelly. Let me see if I can just make an infographic. Infographic with a star with I'm gonna say the stars. Okay, so I have one more question or rating here. We don't have to talk about this because we're already almost at time. So if you had to rate your confidence using AI in the classroom now versus session one, so five would be completely transformed. I don't expect any fives, but if you're about the same one, okay, nice. You get some threes, so. I would say that's a good place to be going through a course. Maybe infographic. I'm gonna come back to this. Let's see what that comes up. Okay, so NotebookLM as your learning synthesizer, we've been creating these artifacts, prompts, lesson plans, checklists, reflection entries. Now we're going to put them all into a NotebookLM notebook and use the studio to do something no human could easily do alone. Find the patterns, themes, and growth arc running through everything you've made. So what you're going to do, you're going to get your artifacts together. You want to have 8 to 15, just whatever you've been working on in this course. Um, yeah, quality over quantity, of course. I would say as long as you have your what are they the reflect no the network these ones. So if you've been working through those network ones, uh, you're gonna do, let's see here, completed explore mega prompts and use and the AI responses you saved, apply. Oh yeah, these are just a list of the different things. Then you're gonna go into NotebookLM, and if you don't have Google, then you won't be able to do this. But I feel like a lot of people have Google, so I'll put this one in the chat just so that everyone has easy access to it. Um, so you're gonna click a new notebook. They don't give you names. They make the names up automatically. Let's see here. Start your notebook. Oh, I guess I can name it up here. So you're gonna call it Applied AI in College Classrooms, Capstone Synthesis. And then you're going to press the plus button when next to the add sources. And then you are going to drop in Google Doc links. Well, if you're in your Google Docs where you have it, you could search your drive. I don't have my drive connected to my NotebookLM because I think I've said it before, but I don't know. I've got to clean out my drive because Yes, you can upload. So any files will work if you just put them in here. And you could also just drop them in. You could also put in copied text if it's just in text. But yeah, this is the ad sources. And then you're going to use the studio to surface the insights. Okay. So to be honest with you, I I was gonna wait till I saw who was here and see if I can get some approval to use your some of your networks. So would anybody be willing to allow me to put some of your work into this NotebookLM? I won't include any names. I'll just include so for example, like I'm not going to do Julie's, but I'll just take the session here and then there. So it's the mostly just prompts, right? The AI conversation and the prompts, and then the reflection questions. And will anybody will anybody be a guinea pig for me and allow me to put some of
I
your stuff
haven't
in here?
done too many of the network, so that's what I wouldn't care otherwise, but I don't have a whole lot of data, if you will, to provide because
Okay,
yeah.
that's a
One
good excuse.
one quick question. Does
Yeah.
like obviously when you have a Google account, there's like you get a certain amount of free data space. Does the stuff that NotebookLM generates, does it use that space up? Do you know?
Ooh, that's a great question. And I do not know the answer to that.
Okay.
Um,
I'll do some Googling to
do some research. Yeah.
yeah.
If you can do that and let me know, because I don't, well, let me see. I'm in here. Let me see if yeah, ask
Derek,
AI.
yeah, ask AI.
In my Google One, I have, let's see, it's got Drive, Gmail, and Photos. I don't see anything that is related to AI.
So according to the Google AI overview summary, it says that it does not directly use your Google Drive storage quota, the 15 gigabytes of free space, to store your notebooks. Instead, it uses a separate independent storage system for the
Oh,
notebooks and sources. Yeah.
okay.
So
Um, no worries, Kat. I'm just happy to see that you're here. Okay, so I'm going to let's see what I can do here. Um,
Ronald, you're welcome to use mine, but I've only done about the first half of assignments.
oh, is this Rachel talking?
Yeah.
I lost my. Um, let's see. Would you say, did you start from one and go from there?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see what we can do here. And I don't think there's gonna be anything like nothing bad's gonna happen to your reflections. Um, but I think it's good practice to ask if you are going to do anything with student work, it's a good idea to get consent first. Good idea. So I'm just gonna save a couple of these if it allows me to. And I'll just show you what you can do here with this.
Okay.
So once again, I'm not advocating for putting your students' work into AI. Um, if you do, then make sure that you've talked with them about it and just make sure that they know. Um, like if somebody's writing like a personal story, like a personal narrative, then that doesn't seem like something that would be good to put into AI. But then at the same time, we really don't know what is happening. And if there's like a billion people putting stuff into AI, then I don't know if somebody's paper on the expansion of, like whatever. I don't know if that would be what's really valuable. I think if people are putting in their, if people are using AI to help them with their taxes, then I feel like that's maybe where you don't want to put information in. Yeah. I'm just gonna do, I think, maybe 5 of these. Or let me get to this one. Oh, this one's nice. This one's already PDF. We like a PDF. Okay, I'll stop here. So let's say I get this one in, the longest one. Wow, that was a long prompt. And then let me save this. So once you have your content, in this case, we're looking at reflections and AI prompts, all of these. What I can do is I can come back here to NotebookLM. I can upload the files to my desktop and pop them in there. So what it's going to do, just based on these ones that I put in Applied AI in College Classroom, these documents detail a computer science educator's journey in integrating artificial intelligence into technical college courses like Java and programming fundamentals. So already it's got the main gist. Put one more in there for good luck. Oh no, that's the actual whole journal. Let me remove that. Sorry. I'll just stick with these 5s. Okay, so now, I can come over here. I can click on reports, and I can see that it's got these standard ones: briefing doc, study guide, blog post. But let's see what it comes up with for the suggestions. What the suggestions does is it like looks at what your sources are related to. And so let's see here. It's got strategic roadmap, quality assurance protocol, conceptual narrative guide. I'm gonna click this one, and then there was another one that looks pretty good too, the student practice handbook. So, and then I'm just gonna kind of pop a couple of these because you just hit them, and then they'll kind of like work their way in the background. And then I'll pop up infographic and see. Flashcards, quiz don't really make any sense. You could do a video overview, like an explainer. And then another thing to notice when this is kind of a new thing, what should the AI hosts focus on? So the AI hosts are going to be talking about something. Explain how, so if I click on this one, ethical AI toolkit, explain how to apply the bias check and verify steps. And then they give you more to add. So present this from the viewpoint of a professor planning a new winter course. And then you can also choose a visual style here. Rachel, do you have any preference here on visual styles for your video?
I like the cartoony one, the kawaii.
The kawaii. Okay. We'll generate that one. Let's see, this has already come up. So from arithmetic to state, mastering the memory of your code, the great shift, moving beyond the calculator. I don't know what any of this is. The state mnemonic.
I think
Did
it's
you write
way
about that?
beyond the calculator.
Yeah, I think we're past that. Yeah, I think it's because I had like some of these early ones I had put assignments or syllabi in, and so it's talking about like some of the shifts that like were made to those assignments or learning outcomes or something to be
Mm,
because as a new teacher trying to contextualize like captured knowledge I already have was kind of a big theme.
gotcha. Okay. So that's just kind of like the out of the box, if you click on the reports, those are, what they came up with. But I got a prompt here. This is in the Explore page if y'all want to experiment with this. Um, Based on all the documents in this notebook, generate a structured learning journey report for me as a faculty professional development participant. And then, so I'm just going to copy this, and while this is working, let's see, nothing that I have to change. Okay. So I could also put things here in this chat box. So I'm going to put that one in there, and then it's going to be looking at that. But the professional growth summary is 2 to 3 paragraphs describing the arc of the learning across the documents. Top 5 themes. So prominent ideas, concerns, commitments, evidence of the practice change. So 3 to 5 moments, the documents where I describe a change I made or planned to make. This is kind of what we were talking about earlier, remaining tensions. I know a lot of the reflection there was like, rating 1 to 5. And then 3 possible 1 sentence professional summaries I could use. All right, so let's look at this. So professional growth summary. As a former software engineer transitioning to a technical college classroom, I initially approached AI with highly practical mindset, viewing it as a familiar tool for code generation and content creation. Not surprised. But I noticed it defaulted to simple arithmetic examples rather than logical decision-making context. Does this look right to you? Does this seem like an accurate summary, Rachel?
Um, yeah, I think so. I think it
Cool.
does.
So, and then once again, if you find something in here, you're like, nah, that's way off. Then you have the text here. So you can go in and say, yeah, well, I disagree with you on this. But it is referencing, so you could like where you see all these little numbers here, this is where it's getting the source from when it's creating this synthesis summary. My perspective shifted significantly as I recognized the nuanced risk AI poses to beginner learners and diverse student bodies. AI is a multiplier. Does it sound right?
Yeah, that's actually something we talk to students about all the time is that it's a productivity multiplier. That's been like kind of my pitch to them for when to use it and when not to. That probably came out of some discussions in this class that like if your productivity is zero in something, then AI is, 0 times 100 is still zero. And
Right.
so it's a tool to make you better at something you already know how to do.
Mm. I, I feel like I remember us talking about this at some point. So
Mm.
very nice. It seems here you've got that multiplier effect as a theme, mitigating bias. That's kind of what we talked about in these weeks, ethicals, foundations. Syntax to conceptual modeling. Okay. Advanced prompt, the tension of academic integrity versus innovation. So here we go. Evidence of practice change, refining assignments to teach state instead of arithmetic, requiring design artifacts before code. Nice. That's good. Um, Implementing a formal AI workflow, or sorry, formal ethical AI workflow, and adopting multi-turn prompting. That's what we were talking about earlier. Um, would you say you're still have an open question about enforcing the AI policy?
Yeah,
Or
I
you have
mean,
to?
I think that that's something that's just going to change a lot over the next few years. Like how can you and should you enforce, especially with the beginner learners?
Nice. Yeah, that's true. I think we're just gonna have to go with the flow here and adapt or survive, right? So yeah, so this is only, essentially two modules, two real big topics. But if you put all of your reflections and, all of the network assignments in here on the left, it's going to look through and, especially if you have them dated, then it'll say like towards the beginning, you felt this way, but then over time you feel this way. And so it's one way to kind of get a what's that word? Hybridization? Co Can't think of a synthesis of all of your work that you've done. And so they're still generating stuff over here. That's just the nature of the beast. It kind of takes a while. These finish pretty fast. So I'll bring up this infographic to leave us on. But I am curious to see what the slide deck comes up with because it might have a straight shot. This just finished. This is the zero multiplier. This is if you want to hear the AI, what's that called? The podcast people talk about your journey, then you can listen here to this, but it sounds like it's not working. So yeah, let's see what this looks like, and then we'll end the session for today. So the AI integrated CS classroom, a strategic roadmap for educators. Oh, this is nice. This looks like something you can like give to another person. Debugging exercises here, midweeks, build libraries for safe practice problems. AI supported course ecosystem. Prototype transformative tools like AI-driven conceptual tutors and adaptive pathways. Yeah, it's going to take some time to decode, but cool nonetheless.
Yeah, it is cool.
Oh, here, this is it. So architecting the AI classroom. Huh, it's cool. All right. Anyways, I'll share this with you, Rachel, if you want to come in and poke around and, add to it if you'd like.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for allowing me to demo your stuff. And yeah, that's it, everybody. Sorry we're a little bit over time. Let me just do one last thing here. I just want to say congratulations for sticking through till the end. The last thing is just doing that Notebook LM, or if Notebook LM is not your jam, whatever portfolio process you'd like, and even if it's just presenting the journal, the reflective journal as one thing, that's okay too. Like a written reflection document is okay. So choose your format, shape your narrative, and then post it on the discussion board, and you're done. So great job, everybody. It's been a pleasure spending the time with you, and I want to thank a lot of you came most of the time, so I appreciate you all.
Thanks, Ronald.
Yeah.
Appreciate everything.
Thanks, Ronald.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Ronald. I have one quick question or so I was looking through, what I completed to see what I needed, uh to watch the videos of because been doing some of that. And I
Mhm.
noticed that it for S10 for that one for the introduction
Mhm.
piece or introduce, I guess is what, yeah, that doesn't show as complete. That was 2 weeks ago, I believe. So pretty sure
Oh, yeah, I think you were here. Let me check. Is it the introduction for S10?
yes.
Let me just check. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. Check it now. It should be
Okay,
good to go. Or like refresh.
cool. Good stuff. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple others, and I'm gonna try to do some of the early